Good morning. Oh, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. Sozo. Hallelujah. Well, we got past Purim. Finally got to Purim. I fasted a couple of days, kind of modified. I had a vision of my rice cooker, so I ate a little bit of rice. I figured I needed some glucose. I'm on metformin, but I definitely was food deprived Monday and Tuesday, or Sunday and Monday. Today is a day of celebration in Israel. They celebrate the victory over Haman. Haman was a Persian. Esther was a Jew, was queen of Persia. You just got to decide, people, whether you're going to do the devil's work or the Lord's work. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Choose this day whom you will serve. One thing I'm glad about today's the last day of political ads. ABC, NBC, and CBS 7T have been inundated with Valerie Fouché and Nina Alum ads. I certainly hope the Democrats, my sister had a dear friend back when Bernie Sanders was popular and was promoting socialism. She came down to visit and said, "We're socialists." They also had left the denominational mainstream church. Said the songs were like funeral dirges. A few months later, God took her home. She was one of the sweetest people you'd ever want to know. And the socialism part hasn't really grabbed hold of the Democrats because they're interested too much in money. But I had a vision of the Lord today. I had a vision of his feet. and it had the real spiritual DNA of a poor person. And he said I was poor. Threw me for a loop. And I said, but Abraham was rich. I said, he said he lived as poor. And they have to go vote. I got to find the ballot for my district. See who I can vote for. I may have to vote in the Republican primary to vote for a fellow running for Senate. Let's see. You used to be able to Dan Brown, need to vote for Dan Brown for NC Senate. I'm looking at the Board of Elections. I forgot I was online. I'm looking at the Board of Elections to see if I can get a sample ballot. I just saw Dan's picture on TV, and he's maybe running in the North Carolina Senate, U.S. Senate race. He doesn't have the endorsement of Trump, but he should have. We got a former Republican committee chairman running. He got Trump's endorsement. He's going to be a hard thing for Dan Brown to beat. Dan Brown's the kind of man that we need in Washington, that honest and integrous. I don't know anything about the other candidates. This is a pretty pathetic website. All they got to do is get an AI-enabled web provider, and I don't know. Harnett County suspect. I don't know. You know, there should be some alarm bells going off in the citizens. These single person races. No Democrats opposing the Republicans. don't even know what district I'm in. Got somebody from Angier running for U.S. Senate. Shannon Wilson Bray. Be hard for anybody to beat Roy Cooper, except a real strong Republican. Person in Angier is a libertarian. According to this, Dan Brown is there's only two in the Republican primary, Elizabeth Temple of Smithfield and Don Brown of Waxhaw. I don't see the major Republican. He must be running different. I guess there's two U.S. Senate seats up for. Oh, here it is, continued down here. Michael Whatley. There's quite a bit of Republicans. About 5 or 6 Republicans. 4 or 5 Democrats and about 2 or 3 Libertarians. John Knox. John Knox. Brad Knott, U.S. House of Representatives. He'll be hard to beat. Don't see any Green Party people. Got one Republican and one Democrat running for sheriff. Seems like the Republican would be a pretty contested field. Howard Penny. Barbara McCoy. I'm just Congress can invoke the War Powers Act and force the president to deal with them. It's not likely, but it may come after the elections. Next February, I think. I think the Democrats are going to gain control of both houses. Unless the war turns into a spectacular success and Trump is justified. I'm an independent. I've been pro-Trump by God's situation. President Trump has been a confident in the spirit. He needs people in his corner. He needs people that'll walk through the fire with him. But he's also got to obey the law if Congress invokes the War Powers Act. It may be that the War Powers Act is in effect whether Congress invokes it or not. Gives the president 60 days to notify Congress. Then Congress has some time to debate the issue. Then they'll decide. Gives If they say no to the war, it gives the administration so many days to withdraw. Came about after the Vietnam conflict. So President authority to commit U.S. troops. He's got 60 days to notify Congress. It's called the War Powers Act. Primary polls now open. Is it 6:30? Got to go out and check and see if the eclipse is visible. I'll be back in after a little while. God bless. There's a blood moon, and supposed to be able to see the blood moon and the sun both this morning. If your sky is clear. It wasn't clear here when I went out at 5:30. God bless.